Hey, what's happening, fellas and ladies? It is the 27th of February, Saturday afternoon. We're going to just drop a couple of quick ideas of what we're looking at from a sports betting angle. I know NBA went pretty well yesterday for each of us. I took a wash, a very disappointing push, and a dub, and then pretty much everything you liked yesterday came up aces.
Yeah, except for Penn State, which was a mush. And man, just took a tough beat in Wisconsin. It was one of those where it was like a loss the entire game, and then all of a sudden they made a run, and I was like really into it. I wasn't even watching the game until the last 20 minutes. Yeah, and you know how that goes. It just took a lot out of me.
Yes, my Packers do that all the time. You think they're like not in a game? Like I think about the NFC Championship game against the 49ers, like not a few weeks ago, but the year before that. Not even involved in the game. And one quarter in, I'm like, oh, this is over. And then they do just enough to like make you excited again to break your heart twice.
Yes, sir. You know it.
All right, guys. By now, most of you know. If you don't, we have a little partnership going with the people over at Jazz Sportsbook. It is jazzsports.ag. If you want to join, they've been in business for over 20 years. They got same-day payouts. The payout structure is very, very simple. All of our customers who have signed up have had easy time with them. If you go into the join area, we have a 5-pack promo code, which, we really went out on a limb here. It's called 5-pack. If you use it, sign up and make your first deposit. Please let me know and let me get you a free 5-pack membership. That's simple.
Yeah, let's get it, man. I'm excited to talk this out with you for a little bit.
Okay, I don't know about you. I don't have any love picks today, but we'll run through each of these real quickly. Cavaliers 76ers, or you have anything that's bugging for you on this one?
Nah, not really. Don't really have much feel of that for that game at all, to be honest. What about you?
No, not really. Like, you got to like it for the idea for the Cavaliers that Tobias Harris is out. But honestly, 76ers are really good at home. They still have the best two players in the game. I think the line is right at 11. I completely abstain from this one.
I'm with you.
Okay, next up, we got Pelicans taking on the Spurs. LaMarcus Aldridge is still questionable. DeMar DeRozan is confirmed to be playing in this one. The Pelicans are missing a couple of guys now with J.J. Redick and somebody else potentially. So, Christ, who was it? It was Redick is out. I thought they had somebody else that might not be playing. Darius, never mind. Nope, it's just Redick.
Okay, got you.
So, that's not a major factor on this one. I like the idea of picking the underdog, but not enough to actually put any of my own money on it.
Yeah, same. Not interested really in that game either. San Antonio still shorthanded. New Orleans looks like they're playing well right now, but not really a game I'm trying to put money on.
No, New Orleans is real up or down. I never know what I'm going to get from them. So unless I got something I love, I just try to basically stay away from them.
For sure.
All right, Jazz against the Magic. I like the Jazz in the first quarter a lot, and we will get to that one here in a minute. From this game, though, I definitely expect the Jazz to win this game, but I don't really want to take a 10-point favorite here.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, it's hard to back Orlando at any point, but it's rare I'll like a 10-point road favorite. So another stay away for me.
Yeah, if anything, we'll get into the first quarter action here in a second, which is where I do a lot of my betting anyway. We'll talk about that one, but from an overall, no thanks. Next up, we got Timberwolves the Wizards. I think we're going to disagree on this one. I know in the morning you were kind of looking at the Timberwolves yourself. Any idea about how you're going to play this one out?
Yeah, I like Minnesota here. Again, I don't love them, but I like them. You got Washington coming back from a long trip, played very well on that trip. This line's kind of funky. I mean, weird that Washington's only a 4-point favorite here. They're coming off beating Denver, the Lakers, Portland. Only a 4-point favorite to Minnesota is a little bit weird. I could see why you'd want to jump all over that and take Washington. I'm going to just kind of play the reverse, and I like Minnesota here. I think they could win this game.
I think they could. Washington's been my hot team lately, right? They've done very, very well for me. I definitely expect them to cover the 4, but not enough. I just don't like betting favorites. This is an area where you and I are going to agree a ton, just from an overall theory perspective. I don't like betting favorites. I just don't. I expect them to cover the 4, but not enough that I'm looking to put my money on it.
Yeah, well, at least we agree on that, which is always nice.
All right, Pacers Knicks. I can't really tell you how I feel about this one. I was initially really digging on the Pacers in the first quarter, but Malcolm Brogdon has been downgraded to questionable, which doesn't make me like them anymore. So it's another one where I don't have great feelings on it, so I'll probably just stay away from it.
Agreed. I mean, these teams are kind of like relatively evenish, even with if Brogdon plays. So I don't know. I mean, if Brogdon plays, I give the slightly into Indiana, but they're on the road, coming off a back-to-back. I don't know. Another game, not interested in it really.
Yeah, all of my action that I like comes in the first couple of first quarter bets that we'll get to here momentarily. Next up, we got the Nuggets against the Thunder. So this is another one where I keep talking about the Thunder. I've been doing this for about a month now. I have massive respect for how they play as a team. And I just absolutely respect a team this lacking in talent who fights every single day. They've had some really good games against good teams. They've won a couple of good games. So they're +7 right here. If I were to place any bet on this game, it would be the Thunder to win straight up. But once again, I don't like it enough to put my money on it.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of have a feeling Denver rolls here, but they don't look great right now, and OKC isn't really the team to take, to get blown out. So, man, I'm again another game I'm not going to put money on. I agree. I wouldn't be shocked if OKC won this game.
OKC wins lots of games where I wouldn't, I'm surprised by them. And that's why I struggle to bet against them, but I don't like them enough to put my money on them today. So I think one thing that we discussed a little bit at nauseum yesterday, but I'd like to bring up again is practicing what you preach. And that is, and I almost did it again yesterday. I forget what game it was, putting unnecessary money down just because you want the action, having the discipline to sit back and be like, I don't like it enough. Tomorrow's a new day.
For sure, no doubt about it.
All right. Well, Nets and Mavericks has changed a little bit. So we find out that Porzingis looks like he's almost for surely in today. And from the Nets perspective, Kyrie is out, which makes this a much more even game. Whew. I don't know, man. You have
So
any interest in this game?
right when the Kyrie news came out, I actually placed a bet on Dallas +3 and on the money line, just because I knew the line would move. Now I like Dallas in this game. Like I think they win this game now. They look good recently, and Brooklyn looks good also, no doubt about it. But now they're down Kyrie. They only got Harden as their one star. I think this game is competitive, and I don't know. I like that I bet it at the money line was like, I don't know, +1. I can't even remember now, like 175 or something. It's a lot better than -120, I'll tell you that.
Oh, hell yeah. Definitely. I agree with you wholeheartedly. That's one I could see why you would take advantage of it at the time, but it's no longer that time, my friends.
Right.
So it's a different story right now.
That said, if I had to pick a side here, it'd be Dallas.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't have a strong opinion on this one, so I try to be upfront and honest with you guys. I don't have a really strong opinion one way or the other on this one, which means that you will not see me putting any version of a wager on it.
And I will say, I'll correct myself. Dallas had been playing well. They got rolled by Philly last. I like them in a bounce back spot.
Yeah, I can get that. All right. I like some first quarter bets today, and I'm going to run through them in what it is that I like. So the Jazz lost yesterday, which does not happen a lot. They lost to the Miami Heat. You were dead right about that one. I actually like the Jazz to have a very, very, very strong first quarter today against the Orlando Magic. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to go about betting it, but I feel very strongly in the Utah Jazz today, playing very well in the first quarter here. So I don't have an exact strategy of how I'm going to go about implementing that, but I know that I'm going to be putting some money down in the Jazz to play well in the first quarter.
I respect it. I like it. Yeah, it's hard. They're 3.5 favorites, so money line's probably too juicy. But do you trust them to just roll in the first quarter? Because I will say the thing about Orlando, they got blown out by Brooklyn, but they were winning after the first quarter last game.
Yeah, I've actually had a lot of bets going with the Magic in the first quarter since I've started looking at the stuff a lot closer. They did play well in the first quarter the other day. They've also had some real stinkers in the first quarter, so I just kind of look at that as a wash.
I get that. One game that I'm kind of looking at just from looking at this that I could take a shot on is Cleveland in the first quarter, +4 and +220. I mean, Cleveland's best unit by far is their starters. They really, really struggle when they've got those bench guys in. Well, in the first quarter, you're going to get the starters. No Tobias Harris for Philly. I obviously expect Philly to win this game, but not going to be shocked at all if Cleveland's like winning 25-23 at the end of the first quarter.
I respect that and I like it. I don't know if I'll put any money down on it, but I like the point. When I see teams that have to adjust to having a big player out, it makes me think it might take them a quarter to kind of get rolling. Now, they still have Simmons and they still have Embiid, but I like the idea of that, and I can get on board because it kind of piggybacks off of what I like, which is I like the Wizards in the first quarter as well against the Timberwolves. Neither of these teams played yesterday, so it's a wash right there. The Timberwolves are the team that has to adjust to now missing who in my eyes is their second best player in Malik Beasley. And while I think there's an opportunity this game might, this is why I'm not very bullish on the 4 points, but I'm bullish on the first quarter that the Timberwolves are the team that has to learn how to play with Malik Beasley. And while I think they might adjust throughout the day, I like the Wizards to play a strong first quarter right here. You get, full quarter of Bradley Beal, who's, their best player at this point.
I respect that also. I like Minnesota in that game, so that's not for me, but I definitely understand where you're coming from.
Okay. I would have liked the Pacers normally in this spot. And just for the record, for those of you who haven't caught a lot of this, again, I don't want to tell you guys it's the end all be all because it's a real small sample size, but I've had a ton of success so far betting teams that played yesterday to win the first quarter against teams that didn't play. So I would have liked the Pacers, but without knowing about Malcolm Brogdon, then it gets me into a situation like now this team might need to know how to play without him. And I think that might take an adjustment period. So I would have liked it earlier in the day. Now I'm just abstaining.
If he's out, though, you might be getting points here. I don't hate it.
For a second.
I said if he's out here, you might be getting points in this spot. So I wouldn't hate it then either, honestly.
Back with me?
Are you? Nope.
Yeah, we had some minor internet difficulties, but we're back.
So what I was saying was if he does end up getting rolled out, you might, end up getting a point or a point and a half in the first quarter here.
Yep, and I'm waiting on that one. And then the last one I like the Thunder against the Nuggets. I like the Thunder in the first quarter. I will probably bet it at the plus 150 right there. And the other thing, though, is here, I'm cautious. I haven't made a bet here yet because the Thunder have been weird on some back-to-backs. And I don't want to put any money down and find out that all of a sudden Shai's not playing today. So I'm taking a wait-and-see approach on this one. But as things currently stand at 3:32 Central Time, I like the Thunder to outplay the Jazz in the first quarter.
I get that, man. For me, I feel like Denver's kind of that game against Washington, and I'm worried that they just roll here. So I don't like that play for me, but I always like any underdog. I can always be convinced, so I'm not going to hate on it.
Yeah. This goes back to our old saying, talking Matt into an underdog is like talking me into a steak or a trip to Chipotle. It's just easy to do.
Amen to that.
Or like when I don't like Julius Randle as much as you do on a given DraftKings slate, but I'm like, you know what? Talking me into Julius Randle is not a difficult thing to do at all. You can get me right there.
There's absolutely no chance I'm betting Denver here. I'm not going to bet OKC, but I respect it. You know what I mean? And I'd always be more likely to bet the underdog than the favorite because you're getting points.
Yeah, like I said, been dabbling with a lot more sports betting recently, and I just have very little interest in betting favorites. I feel like I'm 2-2 on betting favorites, which blah, but betting underdogs, above 500, plus I'm getting getting better action. That's just, I think it's the way to go. And I do think in the year of COVID, handicapping some of these games is more difficult than probably years past because, we got funky starts and things like that. 3-point shooting has really neutralized things in the NBA because on any given day, teams can get hot and cold. It's just got to be more difficult for people who have to come up with these numbers.
I'm with you 100%. Good points.
There's been some weird things this year. There are games that make no sense. Not that hasn't happened forever, but the COVID thing just has things weird this year.
No doubt about that.
That's why I got like underdogs.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. That's what we got for today. Best of luck to everybody and everything you play on this evening. Go win yourself some money, and we'll catch you guys in the morning.
Thanks, guys.